Hello, my name is Smith and I want to talk to you about processing. Processing is a a programming language based on Java that is focused mainly on graphics, 2D and 3D graphics, animations, typographies, image, and makes some cool stuff using graphics mainly. So with processing, you have a complete IDE like this one where you have to write code in Java and you count with several tools for several actions, all based on graphics. Graphics mean show circles, show effects, some cool stuff that you can use here. So this programming language mainly was think was developed with the idea to work with visual arts and designers all in the graphic fields. So you can use the mouse, keyboard, also files in JSON format and other things. Why that's very popular sometimes because it's very easy to develop something. For instance, you can use only a few lines of code. A main function here is setup. With setup, you define, you initialize the variables here. For instance, let me draw a simple line, in with four coordinates. The first two coordinates is referring the x-y point from one side of the line and the other side in this case 100. So if I execute this, I have a window with a line from the position 00 to the position 100 100. That's very easy, just one line of code. That's very important here. Okay, one another thing that I can do here is change the size of the windows that I display. In this case I change to the bigger one. That's cool. So I can change the stroke or the width of the line. You can see that the IDE can show me the errors that in the real time while I am writing the code. In this case, I can write this and have a line with a stroke of 8. So it's very easy to write code. That's and in using another programming language, maybe you require more time in order to set up all your environment just to draw something. So language like Python, you need something like, I don't know, Pygame, for example, or OpenGL if using some more basic. With processing, they're internally using several libraries. For instance, OpenGL is one of them. That's very efficient on this. So why well, again, this is very famous because you can do several things very easy. Okay, another function we can use here is draw. Draw is a function that is invoked every time that is rendered the windows. It's like the scheme used in video games. Well, it's a main while. It's like a while true. Inside the while true, there's all the operations like capture the events to the game, also drawing the objects inside the game. In this case, setup is invoked just once and draw is invoked every time that the windows is draw. Okay, let me delete this. Oh, also I can copy this line, copy and paste here, well, cut and paste here in my draw window that is execute every time that my window is displayed. Nice. So what else I can do here? Okay, something more nice than a single line, maybe a circle. I can draw a circle. I need four parameters here. The first one is center of the, in this case, ellipse. This is center of ellipse, and the major and minor axis. In this case, I don't know, maybe 100, 100 again, and execute, and I have an ellipse. Okay, the 00 value is here, is in this corner. Let me change that. using the center of the windows. The center is defined by the half of the width and the half of the height. You can notice that in the IDE these reserved words are highlighted in some different color just to know that you can use and are defined by default for processing. So that's very nice. I have this. Okay, but that's very simple. I can do that in different programming language without any effort. Okay, let me introduce something more nice here. For example, instead of using a fixed position, let me use a dynamic position. In that case, a dynamic position could be the mouse position. It will be draw a circle or an ellipse with my in the same time that my mouse is moving there. So I have these very cool things just with one line of code. I can add more things, for example, adding something like changing let me change the size of this ellipse using the movement of the mouse. For that, let me declare a variable called speed. In speed, I will take the difference between two variables already predefined here in processing. It's called the pmouse variable. Pmouse is the previous mouse position. That is the P letter there. It's the previous position. Let me use this one. Let me use the X position, the X, oh, sorry, the X and the Y value, and sum up and obtain speed, and move this according the speed. This will be draw an ellipse if let, let me see this. If I move slowly, the speed is a low value, so the size of the circle is very tiny. If I move faster, the size is bigger. If I move very fast, it's more bigger because it depends of the velocity that I am drawing this. So I get another nice effect just with few lines of code. Of course, I can do this using different things like changing the color. That's very nice, not just all in white. I don't know, 200, 587. You can check that the ID correct me all the time about my errors when I write in the code. That's very um, useful for a person that don't know that no manage and no handle very programming language just using this. That's very nice. So I designed two things very easy. One of the more important things from my point of view is that you can use processing not only for 2D primitives, you can use 3D primitives. To use 3D primitives, I use this context P3D and use objects of primitive in 3D. For instance, let me use a basic one is a box size 100, and this is my draw. Okay, that's as previous. My box is drawn in the center of this my window that is in the 0, 0 position. Let me translate that, but in this case, because I am working in 3D, I need to translate in 3D. Let me translate to the center in width, height, and 0 in Z axis. So I have my box in the center. Okay, in this case, I am looking my box at front, so it looks like a simple square. Let me add some movement just to verify that I'm working with some 3D things. Okay, let me rotate this in, I don't know, maybe y-axis, because At the same thing that different graphics libraries, the rotation values are radians, so you can transform. In this case, this angle is in degrees. I have transformed my degrees to radians. In processing them very easy using just a function radians that convert my degrees to radians. And let me increment this, I don't know, 1 degree. And in this case, it automatically will rotate around an axis. Okay, I can see that there is no deleting my previous drawing in the window, in the canvas. Okay, let me delete that. Just delete the background that in OpenGL, for example, is equivalent to GL clear options that delete the previous frame buffer that is available there. Okay, I have this, that's very nice. Let me add something more interesting here. Instead a box, maybe an sphere. Let me execute again. Nice, I have a sphere, and I have the triangles that form the sphere. In that case, that's a triangles sorted way on some resolution. I can change that, but due that this video there's no deep on that parameters of the function. So if I want to remove those wireframes there, just write no stroke on my drawing, and I have an sphere here. Okay, in this image, the sphere is rotating because you can't see because it's impossible to see the one because only in the edge you can see a little tiny movement, but that's not perceptible because it's 3D. So in order to exploit the 3D, let me introduce lights. Okay, let me turn off the lights here. Just one line of code again. Great. And again I have this one. Okay, instead I have my sphere spinning around. So let me, I have different kind of lights, not only, for instance, point light. That's very common in computer graphics. A point light of color, I don't know, maybe a red one, for some color, and RGB are the three first parameters. Where it's located? Oh, okay, it's located in the same position at the center. In the C, in the position, I don't know, 500 maybe. 500 because remember that the size of the sphere is 100. Okay, let me do 200. That's a very acceptable value. Okay, that looks very nice. As I told you, that's not too much line of code. I have different kind of lights here, not only point lights. I can use directional light. I need a color for this. Let me use a blue color. That I all the time I never use the zero value for colors. I all the time use at least one value, but this is just my thing. Don't worry about that. But this is a blue color. A blue color in which direction of this? The direction of this maybe is using a vector. The vector 0, 0, -1. That's a vector that points directly to the object. Okay, I have this with another light. Well, as you can see, I can draw different things. Actually, I can work with image. I can change the positions of the lights. Well, this one no, because it's a directional light, but with a spot, with a point light, I can do that. I can use also a spotlight. That's the other kind of type of light that I can use. Let me use the spotlight in a yellow color. The spotlight requires this one, require the position. Let me use the position will be the center, and I don't know, maybe 200 in C, and the focal distance. I remember I didn't, the focal distance no requires the aperture of the camera, or in this case of the light. Maybe this is correct. Okay, let me execute. Okay, I have an error here, and tell me what's wrong here. Oh, I need, sure, no, why? Oh, I forgot, I need a direction here of the light to be executed. Somehow I have this. This is my spotlight. So as I mentioned, you have several options to work with processing. This is not a full or a complete way to how to start to work with processing. It's just an introduction, the powerful of this programming language. Actually, it's not a programming language itself. It's more like a subclass of a Java for using specifically for graphics. Actually, processing is an set of sketch calling sketchbook, and sketch each sketch is an apple. It's an applet from Java, so that's the way that it works. So you can find several information about processing in the page web processing.org. And well, that's it. I hope that this introduction will be very nice for you. And thank you for watching. And if you can subscribe, like, comment, and everything that's standard way that here in YouTube, that will be very nice. Thank you very much.